we've spoken in the past, particularly in the first half of the year, quite a bit about Curtis Yarvin, who was the philosophical, I guess, is perceived as like the guru of Peter Thiel and probably, for that matter, J.D. Vance. He would blog as Mendacious Moldberg or whatever it was.
Mencius Moldbug.
Mencius Moldbug. We spoke to Gil Duran, and we've talked about this guy before. Where did it all begin for him when he came up with this theory about how the U.S. needed a monarchy? Really, I mean, a dictator. Obviously, a king. You'd need to have some blood lineage for it to be a king, but really he's looking for a dictator. And we've heard Peter Thiel many times talk about this era is very similar to the late 1920s in Germany, in Weimar Germany, where people were like done with communism, done with democracy, and were looking for something else. This is all part of a whole. And of course, J.D. Vance, weaned essentially by Peter Thiel. So let's find out. Let's go back to the origin story.
The intellectual origin.
Yes, this is the origin story. This is like, how Superman got shot from, the planet Krypton, and how Batman lost his parents in that dark alley. And here's how Curtis Yarvin started his intellectual journey.
Yes. It's like, actually, if to describe the first moment in which I realized that, things were going to happen and history had not ended, it was like 2005 or something. YouTube was a new thing. And I saw this video. I'm sure it's long since disappeared, but it was really just kind of burned a hole in me. And it wasn't even a video. It was actually just a sequence of photos sort of presented with a kind of slow, animated zoom in, dissolve, sad piano music sort of over it. And the photos were in two sequences. So the even photos and the odd photos all matched. And the even photos were sort of brightly colored pictures of just general Western, decadence, decay, rot, filth. We've all seen these things. And then interspersed between them, formal dress portraits of Nazi officers. And I'm just you watch this thing, you're just filth the generation, bright, optimistic young man in Nazi uniform, filth the generation, bright, optimistic young man in Nazi uniform, and you're just
a coked up man.
Yeah, that's the thing. And basically,
that's the coming thing.
It's a form because it's basically
that's the reaction.
It's breaking in a way. It's a totally forbidden thing, and that you watch it and you're just wait a second. Something's wrong here.
Yeah, something is wrong. But look in the mirror, I think, if you want to find out where it's located.
I'll just say, this is the most coherent thing I've ever heard this guy said. He has no output that's at all worth referencing. Nobody references it. He just does this sort of stupid thought bullshit, and people like Elon Musk or whoever think he's actually smart. He's a clown.
It's also the most illuminating because it is that element of there's a secret transgression that's happening here.
It's almost titillating the way he talks about it.
I'm looking at this it's like porno. I'm not supposed to be looking at it. My parents don't know, and so much of this is it is the mentality of a 17-year-old boy who's
That's generous.
But he was in his 30s. I just looked at his age.
Of course.
That's my point, just to see how mentally weak someone like this
he was 32.
is. I mean, so there you go. And you were able to be propagandized by pictures interspersed in a Nazi YouTube video.
A 12 or 13 or 14-year-old boy.
It would have been less embarrassing if you said you went to a magic show in Vegas and the guy got you to act like a monkey or something like that by using a code word. I mean, that's the level of intellectual intellectual like sophistication that we're talking about here. But he's also not being truthful. I'm sure he watched some garbage, naughty YouTube videos, and that really turned him on to think about the fact that he's engaging in such intellectual, scary, dark waters here.
So
but
taboo.
This is a lie about your origin story. Your origin story really is that a bunch of really rich guys thought that what you had to say to suck up to them was incredibly valuable because you empowered them to do the worst of their like surveillance technology and their most anti-democratic impulses, and you were subsidized and treated like some sort of thought leader without having any kind of backing to it. As a blogger.
Yeah, you came up like the thing. Peter Thiel was the same sort of thing. He wrote a book called The Diversity Myth with David Sachs before he made it big, betting in their speculative economy. All these guys are just clowns who made a right bet at the right time, and now we have to, and because Yarvin has been bankrolled. Like I'm pretty sure his businesses have gotten investment from all these Silicon Valley guys. Like money allows bullshit to defy gravity, and I'm almost annoyed at how much time I've spent in the last 10 years on this fucking loser, because there's just nothing there. The Wizard of Oz, like at least he was behind a fucking curtain.
But I mean, also we just see too how the modern fascist movement is very much coming out of Silicon Valley, and when we had Gil Duran on, people should still continue to read his Substack and all the work that he's publishing. I think he's working on a book too. But just the fact that yes, we have the traditional Heritage Foundation types, and Project 2025 is very much an outgrowth of the conservative right-wing project that we've seen for so many years. But it fits very nicely into this newer form of this neo-monarchical kind of vision that he has been across, Yarvin, but has really just been a way to flatter the sensibilities and empower guys like Peter Thiel and Mark Andreessen, who want a privatized network state. They essentially want to be the heads of these sort of fiefdoms that are over-surveilled, and with them being in charge of said surveillance. And that is the way for them to build their perfect kind of civilization. So it's just we talk about the right and red states and things like this, but so much of modern fascism is coming right now out of very wealthy people in cities that want those cities to be basically kind of cleansed of undesirables and used as testing grounds for mass surveillance across the country.
And the mass surveillance is going to be the way in which they do that.
Yep.
Did you guys get, Ed, it was working. Did you get in the interview with Jessica, did you get into Peter Thiel being an investor in Flock?
No. She mentioned it.
Oh.
And Andreessen.
Okay.
The PayPal Mafia was
Yeah.
That backs all that up.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.